might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we running. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. You can meet me outside, but you better buckle up. It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Yeah. Party till 5 in the morning. Do it again in the morning. Do it like we did this rhyming. I think the government watching. Minister perfect society.
Why did the title didn't update? Damn it.
Are you feeling the insanity? Anger inside of me. There is a war in me. And it keep drowning me. Blinded by all of the vanity. Snakes all around and they rattling. Tell them to shut up the chattering. Blow up the spot, then we running. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. You can meet me.
Sorry, the title didn't update. I'm going back and updating it now. This is I'm gonna make some stuff with a 3D printer. If that's not your thing, I understand, but what's up? I did make a legitimate attempt to put it in the title that I was working with, making something here, but none of the titles went through, so that's awesome. So it's live on the channel Cold Beer Creations on YouTube, and then which is the old channel we used to do games and stuff on. But is this a teaser? No.
Whatever.
All right, I'm just gonna hop right into I don't need the intro, so Welcome, welcome everybody. I'm actually live with this is Cold Beer Creations. So this is actually a different channel, a different show. But I'm gonna start putting my 3D stuff here, my 3D printer stuff, and I told you guys yesterday we're gonna design a part. I have a Patreon show to do later tonight. It's not a whole lot of content. I want to let you guys know about the Ethan Ralph interview that's coming up on his channel on the Kill Stream. I want to let you know about the charity stream that'll be coming up Friday. I need to talk to Sage. I just saw him in chat, but I don't know what we're doing for the Friday interview. Say if you don't know, Sage got a strike today. So if you guys don't care to like follow his Twitch channel, I guess for the week, he got a strike on the craziest thing I'd ever seen. It's like, it's a video he did on how Russia's like manipulating the narrative around politics and social issues and stuff in the United States. And they call people useful idiots, basically. And that's where we're at. So he got a strike for that. He disputed it and they rejected the appeal. So that's pretty fucking crazy. Oh, we're going to record it. Okay. That's pretty crazy. But that's not what we're talking about right now. That'll be later. I'm actually making a part or designing a part for my 3D printer. So I have these batteries that I charge in the Jeep all the time. These are my vape batteries. They're 18650s, and this is a small charger that runs off 12 volt like a cigarette lighter. I need to make a carrier of some type for this because right now they just always sit in the passenger seat. They fall on the floor. If they fall on the floor, they shoot out. And 18650s have like a protective coating around them. It's just like heat shrink, but still, if that messes up here around the top, like when they shoot out and hit the floor or whatever, if that messes up around the top here, you can get a short. And a lithium battery is not very good to get a short on. They like melt down. So I don't want that to happen. Plus, I need the room. Like when I pick up the kids from school or whatever. Liam can sit in the front. Ollie's still too small, but Liam could sit in the front. But I've always got stuff in my seat. So what I plan on doing is making something for this to fit in. I've actually got. I went to the storage unit to get some of my tools, and I have some really expensive. Damn it! I have some really expensive precision measuring tools. And I could have dug them out. I think I got some Mitsutoyo, which is like Japanese, a Japanese brand that's pretty famous, measuring devices. I've got some Starrett stuff. I think my digital calipers and my vernier calipers. My vernier calipers are Starrett, and then my digital calipers are Mitsutoyo. They're like a $300 set of $300 or $400 set of calipers. So instead of doing that and digging them out, I actually went and just found the cheapest fucking set I could find. So I got this set, which includes like a compass, some round calipers, inside calipers, some depth gauges, all kinds of shit. It was like $20 for the whole set, and that way I can show you don't have to be super exact. You don't need a $400 tool to like figure this stuff out. I got the whole set at Harbor Freight for like $20, and they came pre-rusted. So you know they got to be good. If when you open the package, there's rust in there. So I got a cheap ass set of calipers. We're going to take some measurements, and then we're going to throw it all on Fusion360. And then I'll start the printer in a little bit. I probably won't do the whole print on the show, but I am going to do the design on the show. And that'll give me a place to kind of sock these into. And what I'll use is, I have some VHB tape, which is like, super sticky double-sided tape. They use it in like the film industry a lot. Like when they need to stick a prop somewhere or something keeps falling down and you need to stick something to your camera or blah, blah, blah. It's just like a foam backed rubber tape, but you could use, anything from like contact cement to tape or whatever. But, I just got some VHB tape, but I need to design something that this kind of slides in. And one of the goals with designing something like this is to make it easy to 3D print. I don't want to have a bunch of supports. I don't want it to be very likely to fail. So like you don't want a whole lot of angles, like real sharp angles, overhangs, more than 45 degrees, stuff like that. but I'm going to design something to hold this. And then when we're done with that, we'll do the Patreon show later. It'll be for all patrons and Twitch subscribers. So you're more than welcome to hang out while we do this. If you want to chit chat, I'd usually talk to the chat, chill or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to be designing something to hold these batteries in the Jeep better. And I guess we'll go from there. It's a Luck LUC eFest LCD universal charger with 2 bays. So it'll charge 16 340s, 18 350s, 14 500s, 18 500s, not 18 650s, and 26 650s. So it'll charge a bunch of fucking different round lithium style batteries. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next probably couple hours. But we have a Patreon show later tonight. So that's what I'm working on. It's on the YouTube channel, Cold Beer Creations. That's where I'm going to start putting more of like my maker stuff. And like when I build something, it's on my Facebook, of course, and it's on my Twitch channel. Twitch kind of becomes a catch-all because I always want to broadcast there, even when it's different types of stuff, but it'll work. What else was I going to say? Oh, I have a TikTok video right now that's kind of taken off. You know, the Ukrainian ambush video that we covered. Oh God. Sorry, that was extremely loud. You know, the Ukrainian ambush video that we covered? I did like a TikTok video of it. It was pretty crazy. The comments coming back were just pretty wild. So it's got like 4,000 views. I posted it yesterday, and overnight it got like 2,500 views. Now it's on like 4,000 views and going up, which is not viral by any means. Like I would say anything under 1 million views is probably not viral, but for me on TikTok it is. Most of my shit has like 200 views. So to go to like 4,000 views is quite a big deal for that. Also, I've been noticing, do you guys ever watch The King of Random? It's a YouTube channel called The King of Random. I used to love that channel. And I noticed a lot of people this made me mad, and maybe it shouldn't. So there was a guy on YouTube called The King of Random, and he did like weird experiments and like backyard experiments, and he did it with like his wife and stuff. And he died like while his YouTube channel was pretty active. He died in like a hang gliding accident. So basically what happened is he went hang gliding in a well-known hang gliding area, and he didn't like check in with like some family members or something. So the next day, like that was overnight. And then the next day, the cops on a missing persons report went out and looked for him and found like he had like crashed in like a grove of trees and like died. But like it was like a big deal because it was a pretty famous YouTuber that like passed away. Even YouTube put out like a Twitter thing saying like, we're sorry for the passing of the King of Random or whatever. And like I'm seeing people on TikTok are like stealing his content and re-uploading it, which kind of made me mad. Like he can't do anything about copyright and stuff. Obviously he's dead. I don't know what his estate's like after that. I don't even know if they still make videos on that channel because he had a couple co-hosts that had been making videos. Actually, I want to look that up before we get started. But yeah, the guy's name was The King of Random on YouTube, and I really liked his content. The King of Random. But it's kind of shitty that like just random fucking accounts. That's weird. Random accounts from like overseas are like stealing all of his content. Oh yeah, this seems like they still upload on that channel. But it's like they're stealing his content and just uploading it. So it's towards the end of like right before he died, he was like, he had a couple co-hosts that were coming in and doing like 2 shows a week, and he was doing 2 shows a week. And it looks like the co-host continued to do the show, but maybe not him so much. I think that was the guy's. Am I saying the wrong guy's name? Hold on. I don't want to call the wrong guy. Yeah, so he died on July 29th, 2019. His name was Grant Thompson, which is crazy. What's up, Precious? What's up, Mattress King? All right, so we're gonna start this with the king of random stuff. Had nothing to do with this video. I just happened to see it and think about it. But we're gonna start this with a sketch, obviously. So I'm in Fusion360, and this is actually the free version of it. So the first thing I want to do is just kind of get the dimensions of this, and then we can work off that. Like I can make a solid object that basically be the same as this. So let's create. We're going to create a sketch. Again, I'm not great at this. Like I'm not awesome. But I do the best I can. So we'll see. I usually put the sketch like flat down, which would be like this, but I'm actually going to make it like this because I think it'd be easier to print like this. Even though it'll take longer, I won't need any supports. So let's grab this plane, and then we're going to create a rectangle. We'll create a center point rectangle, and of course, we'll start in the center. So I'm going to take some measurements off this. I guess in fucking metric, because nothing works in freedom units anymore. That's about, let's say the box is, that'd be 27 millimeters. 27 by, not point. What's up, Southern Belle? 27 by, will this even measure the overall length? I might have to grab a tape measure. Yeah, it's going to hit the stops before that. I got a tape measure laying here. It's actually a lot easier than it looks, to be honest with you. 5 1/8. So 5 1/8 inches to millimeters. 130.175. So all I'm doing is creating a fake. Let's do this. We need to click on it. And we'll do 130.175. So wait, that can't be right. 135.125. No, that is right. What did I measure wrong? Oh, I bet you we got, hold on just a second. Did I measure right? It's a weird looking 130.175, 27. Let me measure again. It shouldn't be nowhere near that off. That's a weird looking rectangle. Oh, it isn't 5 1/8. It's probably 4. About 5 1/8 by, I hate metric units. Wish I could project that line. So 5/8. Not quite 5/8. That's fine. So $66.7. What the fuck was I measuring when I got the 27? 66.7. That's more like it, right? 66.7, 2 5/8 inches. Okay. What the fuck was I measuring a minute ago? Oh, I wasn't. What the fuck is that? I was measuring. I was using the inch side instead of the millimeter side. Okay, let me double check that measurement. So we got, that would be 6, 6.5, 6.6, 6.7. Yeah. So let's do, 67 here. I was using the wrong side of it. You can tell I've never used this set before. Like 27 millimeters would just be like a fucking inch. Because 24, 25 is an inch. And we need to get the thickness of it. So I'll measure that, and that comes out to 4 centimeters or 40 millimeters. So what we'll do is we'll finish this sketch. So all I did so far, I'm going to try to explain this as I go. And if you need anything, if you have any questions in chat, just throw them in there. And we talk while we do this too. It's not just all about like, I know you guys are probably never going to use this program. I'm not teaching you how to use it. It's just something that people were interested in while I was doing it. So all I'm doing is making, I'm not going to print this because I'm just making a fake one of these basically so I can work off of it. But anyways, let's see. It needs to be, we measure that, and that comes out to about 3 centimeters. This thing doesn't even zero, right? It's fucked up. About 3 centimeters, which would be about, we can go ahead and call it 30 millimeters. All right, so what we'll do is we'll finish this sketch, okay? Now, all we have is this rectangle, right? It's not much. Literally, it's just a rectangle. But we can do a process called extrude, which basically means we give it depth. Like right now, it's a flat rectangle. If technically you shouldn't even be able to see it from the side, but because we can, because we're looking at it, or because we got it selected, we should be able to give it some depth here. So what we're going to do is we'll go to create an extrude, or that's shortcut E, and we want this to extrude, and we're going to do 30 millimeters because that's what we measured. And now, if I put it on front, we got a block. And if I turn it sideways, we got a block with some thickness. So all we did was basically make this. And I'm going to work off it because I need something to hold this. So I made this into a block. And I know if I make something that on the computer will hold this block, then technically it'll hold this because this is a representative of the block. Sure. That'll work. So I'm going to create a new sketch over top the sketch we already have, or probably on the back of the sketch we already have. And that'll be our back piece. Then I'll probably create a tool to cut it, but that's no big deal. All right. So what we want to do is we're going to go to the back of it, and I'm going to create a new sketch. Create a sketch, and I'm going to put it on the back of this piece. And let's see what we want to do. We want to create a rectangle. Create a rectangle, a center rectangle. And we're going to put it right there. And I think we went 67 wide, didn't we? Yeah, 67. So I want to add a millimeter of space around it on each side. So that'd be 67. 1 millimeter would be 68. 1 millimeter on the other side would be 69. So nice. 69 millimeters. And then I probably want it at least 3 millimeters thick, you think? At least 3 millimeters thick. So 69 plus 6. Because we got to double it. 69 plus 6 would be 75 millimeters wide. And then we're going to tab. And then we got 130.175. So that'd be 132.175 plus 6 would be 138.175, and that should give me 3 millimeters of stuff all the way around. Yeah, that ought to work. Now let me look and see what it looks like. So if I look at it from the front, basically I have 3 millimeters of material all the way around my piece now. So if I turn, so when you create something in here, they're called bodies. So I can turn off that little brick we made right now, which is what I'm currently going to do. And then I'm going to finish this sketch. And I'm going to create a new extrude, which would give it depth again. Did somebody ask? I'm making a thing to hold my vape batteries in the car, or my charger, not my batteries, the charger with batteries in it. So I want to create a new extrude. And we knew how thick it was supposed to be, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this whole triangle. And I want to extrude the whole rectangle. I turned the body off, right? I want to extrude the whole the rectangle. Oh, 2 selected. I don't need 2 selected. I need 1 selected, right? Oh, I got 2 sketches turned on. So I need to extrude the whole rectangle, right? Yes. Sketch 2. Should be able to select it all or deselect it all. There we go. All right, so I need to extrude this whole thing. What did we do last time? Where'd the batteries go? Okay. I did 30 last time. So I need 3 millimeter wall thick. So 36. 36. I know what I need to do. Hold on just a second. Let me cancel that. And then I'm going to turn that one off and I want to turn my body back on. So I want to go to the back of this. And then I want to construct an offset plane. And I want it to be offset from this. And I want it to be -3 millimeters, I think. -3 millimeters. Oh, shit. -3 millimeters. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, no, not negative. Maybe positive 3 mil. Okay. +3 millimeters. That's with the body on. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. Now I want to create a sketch again. I want to create a sketch, and I want it to be on that offset plane so we can go look for it just to make sure we select it. So it's this plane back here I made -3 millimeters. And I'm going to flip it around, and that's the plane we're working on. Okay, that makes more sense. Now I want to turn this body off, create a center rectangle. I want to create it right here. And it was 69 plus 2. No. It's 67 plus 2 equals 69 plus 6 equals 76. 131 plus 2 is 131 plus 2 is 133 plus 6 would be 139. Is that correct? Let me see. Let's turn the body back on. Oh, it didn't take. I'm sorry. What did I have it on? I had it on 76 tab 139. Turn the body back on. Go back to the sketch. Tab 76. Sorry, it's not saving it. Tab 76 times 1 or tab 139.125. You're right. 0.125. Oh yeah, that looks good. So that should be our rectangle. That's 3 millimeters all the way around. That'll be how thick all the walls are, I guess. This is actually Fusion360. It's the free version because I don't use it for like a business or anything. But yeah, it's Fusion360. Now I want to finish that sketch. I can delete sketch 2 because we're not actually even using it. So delete sketch 2. I got sketch 1 and 3. All right, I want to turn this body off. Now I'm 3 millimeters to the rear. Create and extrude. Now I'm 3 millimeters to the rear, and I think we made it 30. So that's 33. plus 1 would be, or plus 2 would be 35. 38, I think, is what we need. Let me make sure it's going the right way too. It's not. So I need to go negative 38 millimeters, and I want it to make a new body. Operation, yes, new body. Okay. So now if we go back to the front, we have this one and we have the other one inside of it. See how this one's just a little bit bigger over top of the other one? So we turn this one on, it's just a little bit bigger, but it's solid. But I think what we can do, first of all, is I don't want this to be... I can't just have this like fully encase it, obviously. So I need it to just set in there, and I need like a lip all the way around it. So let me see how wide some of this shit is. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to leave body 1 off. I want to create a new sketch on top of body 2. Body 2 is basically what we're making, but solid. So I'm going to create a new sketch on the front of body 2. And let's see, how do we want to design this? So the first thing we want to do is we want to create a rectangle. Let's turn on body 1. Will it show it to me at least? No, not really. Let's turn off body 2. All right, so we want to create a rectangle. And I think what I want it to do is be, so that's 3 thick. I want it to overlap by what, 3 millimeters, I think. That's my wall thickness, yes. Okay, that makes sense. Let me see if I can do this. Let's cancel that. Is the Lord Will, the third king of the meat hammers, finally making Sage an official Canadian adult toy store figure so he can say, reach for the sky, daddy? Absolutely not. We're actually making a vape battery holder, but thank you for using the thing. I think I can use one body to cut the other body. So if I do this, and let's cancel this sketch. Let's do finish sketch. Now I have 2 bodies here, one inside the other one. Let me turn off that sketch. Let's see. I don't know how to do that. So we've ran into something I don't know how to do, but I'm fixing to figure it out. Split body. No, I've done split body before. I'll Google it, but I don't remember how to use one body to cut the other body. So we have, hold on. Fusion360 cut body with another. We're fixing to Google it. Hold on. Cut body with another body. Is to model the cone in relationship to cylinder, and what a simple cut cylinder revolves. Second is to make a solid body out of the cone and move it to the position you desire. Then cut, combine. Okay. The advantage of the second method is you can later edit, combine, and update. Okay, that's what I want to do is cut, combine. Let me see what this screen recorder says.
Inside as a cut instead of a new body. Just model it in the plane. Revolve as a cut body. Just model it in the plane you want. And let me back. Just move. And then just do a combined. So it's up to you how you do it.
Okay. I think I can do that. All right, so I want body 1. I want to modify it. And I want to... I don't know if it's going to let me do that. We can't do it this way. If I can't figure out how to do it this way, we can do it the other way. But there's a way to cut from the first one with like as a tool. Thicken, boundary filter. So a lot of people do a lot more complex shit than I do on here. They even set up their parameters like for their fucking split body, split face, silhouette split. What is split body? Creates new bodies by dividing selected bodies using profile planes. I don't think that's it. Split, combine. Joins, cuts, or intersects two model bodies. I think that's what it is. So I want this one to be, what do I want the target body to be? I want the target body to be this body. Then I want the tool body to be this body. Okay. And the operation I want to do is to cut. I want to cut. Creates a new component, or do I want to? So I can do intersect. Oh, I didn't select this body. Hold on. Select the. Okay, so turn off body 2. Or turn off body 1 to select body 2, and I want to select it. It won't let me select it. Why not? Oh, I was trying to select the wrong one, maybe. Yeah, okay. And I want to cut. Okay, that makes sense. I want to cut. I do not want to keep the tools or the components. It doesn't have to make a new component, but I want to use that to cut. Okay, now are we hollow on the inside? We're fixing to find out because the other one's gone. Now we got our sketch, which is on the front of this. I think I just did it. So I think right now what we got is a hollow square, but we're fixing to find out. We should have a square the size of my holder, but with just 3 millimeters thick. Better be Ollie's Cave. Thank you for subscribing, Johnny T369. Nice to meet you. I've never seen you around here. Probably one of those douchebag grifter tops or whatever, but that's cool. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to go back to our sketch and we're going to edit this sketch. And we're going to make create. So some of the stuff I do is redundant. I get it. I'm just not as good at this as some people are. So this one would be 67. No. Tab 67 by tab 131.125. Right. Okay. So that's a sketch we can do. Now, I don't need that though complete. Well, I do. Okay. I need that to hollow out. But I need it to be 133.125. Okay. That's going to be my hollow cavity. No. I'm just doing the front. I already hollowed out a cavity. I think. Yeah, I'm just doing the front. So if it's 131.125 and I take 6 away, that'll be 125.125. Yes. And then this one down here is 67. But I want it to be 61. Okay. I'm trying to make the front part that's going to hold this all in. And I think we're going to be good right there with that. That'll give me 3 millimeters, 3 millimeters, 3 millimeters, 3 millimeters. Okay. That makes sense. 67 to 61. That's right. That's all right. Now I also want to, I'll do it later with a fillet. Now I want to create another rectangle because the top has got to be open. I want to create a rectangle, but I can do a 2-point rectangle. So what I want to be is on this point and on this point because I just need it to extend all the way through, okay? So those are 2-point rectangle. I just drew a rectangle up here. Now, we can do create a circle. A good Palomine Phil recommended you. Do you know him? Yeah, he's an all right guy from what I hear. This line, and I want to make it. How big do I want to make it? Let's just do 15 millimeters. That'd be all right. And then create a circle to tangent, and we got to do the same thing on the other side at 15 millimeter. Oh, that's 5. Sometimes my 1 doesn't work on this program. I've noticed that a couple times. 1, 5, asshole. What is it doing? One, 5, 15. Okay. All right, so that gives us a little bit of a curve at the top. And I kind of want the same thing up here, maybe. Or I'm sorry, at the bottom. I kind of want the same thing up here. So if I do let's see, we're rolling off both sides. So if I do a 2-point tangent here, no, here and here, I can make it as big as I want. All right. So create a circle. That'll be a 2-tangent circle. And I want it to hit this one and hit this one, but how big do I want that? Let's do 20. And just see what this looks like. This might not actually look good, but we'll see. And then I've got to do the same thing to the other side, which I think you can just use the mirror, the mirror thing, but I don't ever use it because I'm not very good at this yet, but I'm working on it. We'll get there. And we'll do 20. Eli is a moron. Oops. Oh no. I'm making a thing to hold my my vape. It's not that interesting, but it is what it is. All right, so now we should basically have a tool to cut in. So I'm going to finish this sketch. Well, I probably need to turn it on. And then I'm going to do a create, an extrude. And what we're going to select is everything that we want cut out. So I want this, circle, and this, and this. I want all that cut out because that's going to give me my whole 2 cuts. And I know we're 3 millimeters thick, and that should be where our cavity is, right? So I'm going to go all the way to the back with this, I guess, because that'll at least cut the top. I'm going to go all the way to the back with this minus 3 millimeters. So how big did we make it? 30. It's 30 plus 3 is 36. But I don't want to go 36. That would go all the way through it instead. Well, let me make sure. No, it's 36. Yeah. Okay. So I want to go 30 plus 1 is 2. Maybe it's 38 is what it is. So I want to go, yeah, I guess 35. Negative 35. I want it to cut it. And let's see what happens. Oh, God. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? All right, let's grab it and see what it looks like. All right, so we got a slot, basically. So this lip is supposed to hold my vape, right? And it's supposed to go back. And then, see, I think I went too far because I shouldn't have went so far back. I think that's the problem. So the lip is supposed to hold it, but it's still 3 millimeters thick, and this other shit isn't, is it? No. That's all right. It's kind of thin on the back. Let's take a measurement. Inspect, measure from this line to this line. Oh, it's 3 millimeters thick. That's what it's supposed to be. Then how fucking thick is this one? From this line to this line. Oh, unselect that one. Close this. Inspect, measure. Oh, it's 5 millimeters thick. Why would it be 5 millimeters thick? probably need to get this measurement then. Close, inspect, measure. And I want to go from here to here. 30.106. That's a weird measurement, huh? Technically work. Okay. Close, inspect, measure. From here to here is 67. So probably going to be a tight fit there, which is fine. I don't actually need that on the back, but that'll give me more area to put tape on. So far we have that, which I'm probably going to chamfer some of these edges and give a little bit more wall thickness. So basically what I did is I cut the square into it, which is fine, but the square was the exact size and I wanted 1 millimeter all the way around to fuck with. That's why I have an extra 2 millimeters at the front. So what if we do this? Go back to select. Let me select, idiots. All right, so we're going to go to modify. And what do we want to do? We want to push pull this. And I'll push that -1 millimeter. -1. Okay. So that's in one. And then if I go to this other side, select, modify, press pull, and go -1. Okay. So I gave myself a little bit of room there. And then if I move this orbit on around, it's kind of tight there in the front. So I have all the slack that I wanted up to the front. I need to add at least 1 millimeter in the front, I think, which is going to be aggravating to select. Let's do this. I want to go back to select, modify, press pull, and I want to do this surface. Let me make sure that's selected all of it though. Oh yeah. And I want to do, I'm just building in allowance in case like, in case the printer's not, the measurements on the printer aren't exactly right, or, you know, we got some variation, or the printer makes it slightly too big, or there's an elephant foot, or the layers fuck with it, or whatever. Looks all right. That looks the same. That looks the same. That looks all good. So this is kind of, did somebody ooh-woo followed your channel? Thank you very much for the follow. It's the first time I've ever even heard that. So we're 3 millimeters thick on all the walls now, including the front wall. Yeah, we don't look bad there. I guess I could chamfer this top edge. So we could go to modify, chamfer here. And you can either select the lines or you can select the whole edge like there. And it's 3 millimeters. So let's put a 2 millimeter chamfer on it. Oh, it won't. It'll only do up to 1.5 on it. Yeah. Because it's 3 millimeters just coming from both sides. 1.5 will work. That'll put it at a point. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's do this instead. Remove that one. Let's select this line and this line instead and put a 1 millimeter on both of those. I won't. Oh, it's 100 millimeters. I wanted 1 millimeter. There we go. That makes a little bit more of a rolled edge, huh? Okay. So that doesn't look bad. None of that looks bad. I guess I could roll these edges back here a little bit like this one. So modify chamfer. I'm going to select this one. And then I'm going to swing it around because I want to select the opposite one as well. So go back to select, modify chamfer. I want to do this line and I want to do this line. You just have to hold control to select two of them. And I want to do a 2 millimeter. No, it's 3 millimeters thick. I just want to do a 1 millimeter chamfer. Let's see what that looks like. It doesn't look bad. I'm going to use VHB tape, so I'm just going to be taping it. It can't be too horrible. That's a lot of surface area to tape it to. And the thing, I checked it today. I was worried, like, does this get hot? Is this something I'm going to have to worry about it, like, catching on fire? It doesn't seem like it. So that's what we got so far. So basically, it's to hold this. Obviously, you know, this would come in from the top. What I don't want to restrict is my ability to get my batteries out or to see the screen. So I have 5 millimeters here on the side to fuck with, but I'm only using 3 of them. So I shouldn't be blocking either battery. I shouldn't be blocking either screen. I don't need a chamfer down here on the bottom because this is the weight I'm going to print it straight up the way it is. That's what it looks like. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we change it some way? Do we need to add the CBC in the back of it? The Meat Hammer Militia. I've shared everywhere, so my 85-year-old mother might be saying William tonight. I'm actually going, we're going to do this one and fuck around with it. And then we're going to be live on, I got a Patreon show to do tonight for all patrons and all Twitch subs, which is where we're going to talk about the Ethan Ralph interview. We're going to talk about the upcoming Friday. We've got a charity stream coming up, which will be for Games for Love, which is a charity that gives video games out to kids that are in long-term hospital care. That'll be Friday. So I'm going to give some updates on that, some updates on the Ethan Ralph thing. But yeah, we got a Patreon show for all patrons and subs tonight. So I think that's good. That's a 3 millimeter thick wall. That's a 3 millimeter thick wall. Everything's 3 millimeters thick. We got a bevel and that stuff, but it's going to print just like this. Like this area here is going to be the bottom. Well, let me change to something you might see better. Just go to select. Damn it, why are you still on rotate? Select. Oh my God, stop. Okay. So it's going to print like this. This will be the very bottom. It'll do this layer, then it'll go up, then it'll go up, then it'll go up. Then it'll stop doing this layer, obviously, when it gets there, and it'll just be doing the 3 walls all the way up until it finishes it. Yeah, it's not bad looking. Got some round edges there, some round edges there. We can orbit it. It's got a lip there on the inside to hold everything in. I think that'll work, honestly. And hopefully not take too long to print. I've never messed around with the text tool, but we can. Let's do this. Let's create a sketch. And I want it on the back of the... Well, let me go on the back of that. I want it here. And then there is create. I think there's a text tool here somewhere, right? Text. Text on path or just text. Just text. And I want the text to be back here. Make it even. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 down. That's fine. And then what I wanted to say C, B, C. And I can center it up. Okay. And can I change? Yeah, I can change it. Oh, there's some good ones. Artifact Elementary Heavy. What does that look like? Oh, yeah. CBC. And then we're going to align to the middle. Everything middle, middle, middle. Okay. Now, if I finish that sketch and then I do create extrude and can I select it? Let me turn off the body. Can I just select that, the text? Is that an option? I don't know if that's an option or not, but I'm getting ready to fuck some shit up, ain't I? I don't understand why is it doing it like that? I guess it's making me select the whole sketch. I figured it would just highlight the letters because that's all that's on the sketch. Right, that's all I want to select. None selected. Okay, that's what here's what I want to do. I want to select the letters, right? And I want to do oh God, I don't even know if this is a thing I can do. I want to do a negative extrusion. And I want to do it as a cut. Oh, no bodies found. Well, I can turn the body back on. Okay, it didn't need to be nowhere near that big. It only needed to be 3 millimeters thick. Okay. Wonder what that does. Did that do it, chat? Look out. Is that cut in there? Let's go look at the back and see. Oh, yeah. That's cut in there for sure. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know you could do that. I'm not going to do it just because like this would need support in there to make this because we got this crazy overhang on all the letters, like the cap of it. But that's pretty cool, huh? Well, and I guess the B would be floating. There would be nothing holding this B part up. The 2 circles in the middle, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty neat. All right, let's back up. We're going to undo that stuff. I've never used the text tool on here ever. And it looks like we got it. Now all we got to do, so if we go back through the steps, basically the first thing we drew was an exact replica of this. Okay? We drew an exact replica of this, which is my battery holder. Then we drew a box slightly bigger than that, with 3 millimeters bigger all the way around, and made it 3 millimeters bigger on the left, or I'm sorry, not even 3. We made it 3, 6, 8. We made it 8 millimeters of bigger, and that's 4 on each side, every side. Then we use this inner box, which is basically this, to cut out the outer box, which is the bigger one. Like we use this as a tool to cut out the center of the other one. So then we were missing the center of this. Then we drew this shape to get our rounded surface that we kind of wanted, to make it look a little cleaner and not so sharp and harsh and everything square. And then we drew some letters on it that we didn't end up using, and we extruded everything. That's not it's not bad. If we turn the body back on and the sketches back off, and we ended up with this little pocket protector device. The cords on this come out the top, so that'll be good. They'll come out the top still, and this should fit right down in there like a pocket. So what we do with this now is, now that we've got it and we know what it looks like on all sides, and it seems like it would probably work, whether it will or not, it seems like it. What we'll do with this is now a body. Anytime you create something in Fusion360, it becomes a body. So this new body, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to right click on it. Well, I thought I was. I guess I got to go back to finish sketch. Go to select, deselect everything. Right click on this entire body, which is this whole thing. And then we need to save it as a mesh. So everything that you print on a 3D printer is made as a surface mesh. 3D printers don't really care what's on the inside of something, like the inside of a wall, because I showed you before, we could open it up and say, this is on the inside, that's on the inside. We could put 10% infill. We can put 1,000 or 100% infill. We can put 0% infill. It won't work, but we could try it. So it really doesn't care what's on the bottom. So instead, or on the inside. So instead, it makes a mesh layer out of all the flat surfaces, exterior flat surfaces. So we want to save it as an STL file. That's the type of files we need. And we're going to save it. And this is going to be vape battery. If this was going in a house or something, I could have put like slots, vape battery holder. I could have put slots for like screws, kind of like you hang a picture or a clock in it, like keyhole slots. And it seems like that's saved. So the next thing we would do is to minimize that. That's cool as shit, a tank. And we're going to open up my slicer software, which is a Prusa slicer, Prusa, Prusa slicer. And what we'll do is we'll do file, import an STL, and we're looking for vape battery holder, open. And there we go. That's what it'll look like on the printer. Now, we don't need a whole lot of infill. I guess I'll leave it on 15%. Let's go to printer settings, infill. I don't want grid infill. I like that gyroid shit. Where is it at? Gyroid. It looks the coolest, even if it takes a little bit longer. We'll do 15%. So now all this program does is put it on like the plate, which is like my print bed, and then slice it into layers. So we're going to slice it now. So it's sliced. It's showing us that the perimeter is yellow. Orange is external perimeter. Red is infill. Purple is solid infill. Bright red is top solid infill. Blue would be bridge. Green would be skirt, and light green is custom. So what this does is it slices it into as many little layer marks as it needs to be. So there's the part in whole. But if we do this, we can do this and go layer by layer all the way down and see what it's going to print. So there's how the print will go. See the red and the yellow on the inside perimeters and the infill? You'll really be able to see the dark red down here when we get to the base. There's a top layer infill. There is the gyroid infill that we were talking about. Gyroid infill all the way across, all the way down to a bottom layer infill, and then literally the first layer it's going to print. So you can take this and run it all the way back up to where you have all the walls, every section you're going to print, everything that's going to be printed on it, all the way up to it completes at the bottom. And it's saying it's going to take 7 hours. That's crazy, but it is what it is. It's because I stood it up. But specifically, the reason I stood it up like this is because I didn't want a whole bunch of supports. If I would have laid it on its back, I would have had to support this lip all the way. I'd have to have support material in here. This should print with 0 supports, even if it does take 7 fucking hours. Jesus. Hopefully it works after it takes 7 hours to print. That's for PETG, yes. We can put a brim on it. Might as well if it's going to take 7 hours anyways. Slice now, so to put a brim out there and hopefully keep it going good. Another thing I want to do is I want to go to print settings. Let's see here. So there's I probably need to search it. There's a fan speed setting I want to change. Fan settings, man, keep fan on. I want to do fan. I want to change the fan. I want to disable the fan for the first 5 layers, maybe. That way, maybe I won't get any warping. Minimum's 20%. Let's turn this down too. I'm going to change it down to a minimum of 10%. Fan speed, 10% minimum, 50% max. Bridge fan spins 100. Disable fan for the first 5 layers. Full fan speed at layer, whatever. Enable fan if layer print time is below 20 seconds. Slow down if layer print time is below 20 seconds. Minimum print speed is 15 millimeters per second. Okay. So that might actually help some. Hopefully. These are all the speeds. Everything moves at first layer speed, 20 millimeters per second. Let's change the first layer speed to about 15. I want a good first layer that doesn't warp is what I'm working on here, hopefully. Acceleration control, that's speed. Parameters and infill, layer height's 0.16, first layer height's 0.2. Number of parameters, 2. It's the minimum. Solid layers on the bottom, we only need, let's change this. What is this? Regularly. Unlocked. What's the default value? Default value is 3. Okay. 3 bottom layers and 3 top layers. We're only using 2 perimeters. So like perimeters are all your walls going up and how many solid walls you have. And then your solid layers top are the very top of your print and the very bottom of your print on the plate. So we can change those back to 3. I think that's pretty standard. Avoid crossing perimeters max. Detour. Detect thin walls, thick bridges, detect bridge perimeters. So there's this really cool website I'm going to show you in just a second. Let me finish slicing this again. Slice now. 7 hours, 36 minutes. There's this really cool website I want to show you and a couple of videos. So I've been telling you that anytime I have like an angle, I never go like above 45 degrees because with a 3D printer, as you're going up, you're printing into the air, which doesn't work typically. But there is a website called fullcontrol.xyz that it does work on. They're getting some printers to do some crazy things, which is something that I'm highly, highly interested in. So I'm going to check that out before we end this stream for sure. And we're going to talk about it because I think that's really neat that they're getting over anyways, I think it's really neat that they're getting those types of movements out of it. It says the first layer will take 13 minutes. I'm going to slice this and export it. Well, it's already sliced, but I'm going to export it. I changed the infill down to just 5% because I don't think we really need that much infill, but we'll see as we go. I might move it back to about 10. We don't need 15, I don't think, but let's move it to 10 at least. Slice again. Yeah, I think 10 will work fine. 10% infill, especially with gyroid. There's a lot faster infills. I just don't know which ones I like. We can go back to infill. I know I like gyroid just because it looks cool, but there's like rectilinear. Let me see what that one looks like. Oh, we got to slice it again, I guess. Rectilinear. Okay, it's just like, it's almost like grids, but it's at a 45-degree angle. There's one that's like really fast, and I can't remember what it was. Grid, triangle, stars, cubic, line, infill. Let's look it up. Hold on. I like gyroid just because it looks cool. But it's also one of the slowest ones. I just read that the other day. Most efficient infill and fastest to print. It seems to be hexagon, maybe. Best infill for strength versus material used is the hexagon or the hexagon / honeycomb. Most efficient and fastest to print. So let's look at it. It's called honeycomb here, and then we'll go back and slice it again. So honeycomb just sounds like it, like you would think it would. It's like a bee, right? It's literally a fucking honeycomb. But it's actually making my print time longer. So I don't think that's going to work. Maybe that's an old, that it actually took it over 8 hours with honeycomb. This is from September 2nd, 2022. Let's see. Lines and zigzags seem to be the while the speed difference between infill patterns won't show too big of a difference for smaller models, you can easily save hours in situations where it's a large file. Moving forward, we will look at it. What is the fastest infill? After running the test on a few different shapes and sizes, we have found that zigzag pattern is fastest infill, with lines pattern being close behind. So let's see. Do I have a zigzag? I got lightning, support cubic, adaptive cubic, octagram spiral, Archimedean chords, Hilbert curve. I don't think I have a zigzag. I know what lines is. It just fucking throws out a bunch of weird ass fucking lines. But it doesn't make that big a difference. It goes from 7.5 to 7.21. Lines is not the greatest. I don't even think I have a. Without further ado, let's go down the list of results where we'll be comparing the two fast infill patterns. Zigzag lines with one of the more balanced triangles infill patterns, and the most durable, which is gyroid. I guess I should just do gyroid. It's only a minute longer on this test print they did. So let's go back to what we had. I know gyroid is really strong. I know it looks cool. I know I use it all the time, so I might as well just stick with it, I guess. If this is something I'm really going to use and I don't have to redo it, I should probably stick with it and not risk it on something that I want to keep. Can I keep my doll? So this is, of course, the gyroid. It's that weird, like, shifting curve looking thing. We'll try there. Let's export this as G-code. It is the vape battery holder. We're going to save it. Vape battery holder 1.0 in case we do have to make some modifications to it. So typically, like in your naming pattern, if you do 1.0 and you make small modifications, you'd go 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. But if you do a major modification, like redesign the whole fucking thing, then you would jump to like 2.0, 2.1, 2.3, then 3.0. We exported it, so I can close this. Yeah, let's keep the changes for now. Not on that, but on this. Save. Okay. And then we want to pull up my fucking printer if it's online. You sound like my hub's explaining his day. Sure. Yeah, it looks like it's online, right? Is that the position it's in? Let's send it home and see. Oh yeah, baby. We're online. Look at that. So all I've got to do is I can upload directly from here. Vape battery holder 1.0. Open. We've uploaded it. The computer knows that it's in PETG through the slicer software. I need to, I'll be right back. I need to go, at minimum, I need to go clean the bed off right quick because I see a bunch of junk sitting on it where I was over there working. And there's some resin behind it. I probably need to move that. So I'll be right back. Let me go wipe that off. Damn, I didn't realize the bed was fucking preheated. That son of a bitch is hot as hell. All right. So from this, we uploaded our file to be vape battery holder 1. We can double click that and it'll upload it to the printer. And then we can click print. And again, it's going to show me a preview of my time lapse photo. So if I play this, it's gonna take 869 individual pictures from my time lapse, which is pretty cool. I love the time lapse software. We've actually got black PETG in there. Because I ran out of the white finally. And I haven't loaded the blue yet. That's what I got to make the silver holders out of. So we got black in there. So 869 fucking pictures. We're going to do accept and continue. And we're going to start heating up. So the bed's already at 70 degrees, which is where it needs to be. I had it heated up today because I was taking the adhesive off the back of my phone. Then all we got to do is get the nozzle up to temperature, and then hopefully it'll start printing. It's homing itself right now, I'm sure. Yeah. I had a jam yesterday. I had to get in there and clean that shit out. So let me show you this. Let's go to TikTok. And I'll show you what people are doing first. So typically you cannot print in the air with a 3D printer. It's basically impossible. There's no, God damn, I'm getting a lot of notifications from TikTok. But if you go to fullcontrol.xyz, they're doing some wild things. Check this out. This is one guy I watch all the time on 3D printing.
90-degree over. What if I told you you could 3D print 90-degree overhangs?
Look at that, printing in the air.
That's where Andy.
That's crazy, dude. Look at that.
Come in. This is kind of amazing to see firsthand. Just printing out there in open air, no supports.
So typically you would have to have, if this was like, if I was running this on my printer without using their recommendations and the stuff that they figured out, I would basically have to have everywhere this overhang is, I would have to have like supports from top to bottom, like running in here. I would have to build up these kind of weak structures that at least provide a place for this print to set on. Like I cannot do this. But they have settings that they have you go in and adjust. And once you go in and adjust them, you can do crazy stuff like this.
No issue. The first time I tried this, it just worked. Andy seems to be implementing some serious G-code trickery.
That's crazy.
Printers to do things that they were never intended to do. If you head to fullcontrol.xyz, you will find there is non-planar printing, but what we're looking for is the overhang challenge. In here, you can change parameters, change printers, and get this set up so you can run it. They recommend you start somewhere between a 60 to 75 degree angle. I started at 70 degrees on my machine, and then I moved to 90. There's even the possibility of going over 90 degrees, actually going negative when you're doing this.
That's crazy.
Over my head. I am by no means informed enough to explain this black
over 90 degrees
magic to you, but if you head to fullcontrol.xyz, in 3D printing, overhangs can be a difficult spot for a lot of folks. Meaning areas like this where the print is angling away from the main body and eventually it's just hanging out there in thin air. Very steep angles, we might introduce supports to help hold that piece up while it's printing, and then that's waste. But what if I told you that you could print at a...
By the way, everybody that's concerned about the waste from my 3D printer and when I fuck a part up or whatever, I found a guy or a company. I think it's a one-man show, but it's a company that they give you back 3 to 1. So he grinds up and makes filament from your scrap. So if you send him 3 kilograms, he'll send you a kilogram back for free. You just pay for shipping. He ships it back to you, a kilogram back. So if you send 3 kilograms, he'll send you 1. If you send 6, he'll send you 2. But 3 to 1 exchange rate, because 1, he's got to be profitable as a business. 2, there's going to be some loss and some non-recoverable, but 3-to-1, and he'll send it back. But it takes a lot to get, 3 kilograms of filament. Oh, we're printing, by the way. I don't know if anybody noticed that. Look out. If I go to, how do I get to my camera? It's settings. And then I go to camera, webcam and time lapse. Okay, there it is. Oh God, no. Copy. We can get a full screen, check it out and see if it's printing well. Man, it looks like it's doing all right. Huh. Uh-oh, we froze up. There we go, baby. Keep on keeping on. No warping, no whammies. No whammies, baby. So I'm going to start. The only thing is, like, I use PETG and PLA sometimes, and now I got some TPU. I'm going to have to get 3 little trash bins that I keep this separate waste in. You can't mix it. Like, I can't send him half and half because there's no way to separate them. And some of these plastics don't stick together. Like PETG and PLA won't stick together, so you couldn't make a filament out of both of them. So I'll have to keep them separate, but that's fine. Let's see if we can at least get the first layer down. Then I'll cut you guys loose because I got a Patreon video to do. If you want to be part of our Patreon and support the show, you can go to coldbeer.fund, coldbeer.fund, fund, and check that out. You can join our Patreon and get extra content. Tonight, we're talking about an interview that I'm going to be having. It's not my interview. I'm going on someone else's show. And we're talking about some behind-the-scenes stuff for the fundraiser we're doing. You can either join at Patreon, or it'll also be subs only for Twitch. So if you're a Twitch subscriber, you can watch it. If you're a Patreon member, you can watch it. But we're going to be doing that in just a little bit. And you can probably watch some of the 3D printer. I can't believe that stupid Ukraine video on TikTok's blowing up the way it is. Most people are just talking shit, but it's still blowing up. I'm about to be able to go live on TikTok. I've been trying forever just to get enough followers to go live on TikTok, and it's just never fucking happened for me. But yeah, all the good videos I have, they would ban me or give me a community guideline strike. And then they'd take them down. No one would ever fucking see them. And now I just did one fucking video and it's taken off like crazy. I mean, it's blowing up for me, and no one else would call it viral or like a big video. Like, I'm sure most people think of like 1 million views. It's only got like, well, let's see how many views it's got. 5,000 maybe, something like that. But that's a big video to me. 5,800, yeah. Almost 6,000. But that's a big video compared to what I usually put out. Yeah, I got, it's 985. I need 15 more followers and I can go live on TikTok. At least to announce, like, hey, I'm going live on Twitch. You can come join us, or just hang out during the day and do small things or whatever. TikTok is kind of the only place that still has a pure algorithm. So basically on every other platform, they manipulate the algorithm. Do they want you to see more Republican stuff, or do they want you to see stuff about spending money, or Democrats, or more stuff about saving money, or stuff about buying a house? On TikTok, it's different, okay? They don't do that shit. Instead, they take your video and they show it to 10 people. If more than half of them, or whatever their numbers are, I'm just making up numbers, if more than half of them engage with it, they send it to 100 people. If more than half of them engage with it, they send it to 1,000 people. And that's the way Facebook and YouTube and everything else used to be back when everybody else got their big channels. Because you look at someone like, PewDiePie, he's one of the biggest YouTubers there are. You look at somebody like that, he can't tell you how to get big on the platform anymore. He did it 10 years ago, and he has no idea how it's the dynamics now, right? He couldn't tell you if he wanted to. So TikTok seems to be the place with still organic engagements and the way they send out your videos. But it won't be like that forever. So Instagram manipulates it, Facebook manipulates it, YouTube manipulates it. Basically, these companies decide what's going to be trending that day, and then they share the videos that they want to, and everybody else gets left in the dust. Like on YouTube, subscriptions don't even matter anymore. If you subscribe to my YouTube, there's only a 50% chance that you'll even get the fucking notification. And that's if you have all notifications turned on. If you don't have all notifications turned on YouTube, there's only a 20% chance you'll get the notification. Because they're predicting what you want to see. They're predicting what you like. They're predicting what you would engage with the most. They're predicting what their political and religious and moral leanings are and what yours are, and trying to either manipulate yours or change them or enforce them, one of the two. Looks like we're going to get a first layer. I do see a bump right here already. I don't know what that is. Could be some trash on the bed or something I didn't sweep off good. But I do see a bump. I'm hoping if we get any warping, it'll only be this outside part. These 5 outside lines are not part of the part. There's something called a skirt. And the reason I put them on there is to allow that to warp without affecting my part. So hopefully, if we get any warping, it'll only be out here on the outside, and the rest of it will do well. But we'll let the first one roll through here and see what happens. I need some more. I'm going to do some more war footage. I mean, it's working good on TikTok. I'm going to try to find some more like videos of like drones dropping or tow missile launchers or whatever. I'm going to find some more of that shit and see if I can make some more TikTok content with it because it's doing so well. But they didn't predict that they would end up being crap and lose viewers. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess. I mean, they are. I'm sure every platform is losing people, but YouTube is basically like in a spot where they don't give a fuck. Like, you could go demand and say, I'm leaving YouTube because free speech, but they've got so many fucking people coming in every day. Like, they're killing it. Facebook's kind of suffering, which I think they'll probably make a decent rebound. They'll probably make a decent rebound with the... like Meta and their VR headsets are really leading the way in a lot of things. So, yeah, if you find this on YouTube, this is my hobby channel. It's Cold Beer Creations, but I'm gonna start posting there more because I enjoy it. Life's too short to run around doing what everybody else wants me to do. I'm gonna have a good time, and I'm sure I'll get followers eventually. I don't think YouTube will ever crash like MySpace will. I think there'll probably come a time that there may be a better video platform that people enjoy more or would rather use or blah blah blah. But it'll still be the repository for a long ass time, dude. They'll still, even if we're using a new app like TikTok just surpassed YouTube in view watch time a few months ago. It's still, if you want to see more of my videos, if you want to see my saved videos, if you want to see my old stuff, if you want to see more in-depth stuff, they're still recommending YouTube. I think it'll be like that for a long, long, long time. I wish somebody like not Rumble, just because there seems to be a pretty strong bias on Rumble. Somebody like Odyssey could knock them down a couple pegs, but it is what it is. YouTube, Google, search results, manipulation, everything's, I mean, they got it all under lock. And we sat here with their damn eyes closed while they did it. I have more apps now following you than I ever have. That's right. We used to stream on DLive. I enjoyed DLive all right. The problem is discoverability. when YouTube has 6 billion people scrolling through it, DLive has 100,000. You know what I mean? And as a content creator, there's always going to be people that just get tired of watching your videos. They don't like what you cover anymore. They don't like, they just got tired of listening to you. They found somebody they like more, blah, blah, blah. There's always going to be people leaving. Some of them unsubscribe, some of them don't. Some of them come back a couple months later, some of them don't. That's all well and good. But you've also got to have fresh new eyes that are seeing your shit so you keep growing. You're not going to grow from the same people who watch you all the time. I appreciate those people. Those people are great, but that doesn't help me grow bigger. You're not going to grow bigger from people who get tired of your shit. You got to have fresh faces being recommended it's showing up, searching certain things and seeing your name, however they might find you, or seeing a post that some of your followers shared. That's a big deal. Some of you guys don't realize if you just shared the video, there'd be people in your that follow you on social media that would want to watch the video. Oh, I just took a picture. There'd be people that watch you that would just want to watch the video, or that follow you or whatever. That can be a big deal. The big thing is being big enough. So like, obviously YouTube has an algorithm and they have like a trending page. If you can get to a big enough size to where you're even eligible for the trending page, that's a big deal. And then one day hit it, hitting in the top 50 trending on YouTube would just, I mean, it would change your fucking life, change your career. I can't believe my TikTok video seems to be doing as well as it is. It was just a short video. I didn't even get out everything I wanted to say. People are acting like I'm just like shitting on Ukraine, but I'm not. I actually root for Ukraine. I think that Russia's being a bully, trying to throw their weight around, and I hope Ukraine continues to do well and defend itself, its own sovereign territory. That would be like if Cuba sent enough Cubans to Florida, and then Florida just being like, we don't want to be part of the United States anymore, bye. Like, and then Cuba invades to help them leave. Like, that's weird. That's not the way things work. But I think they're doing the best with what they have. They don't have the training they probably need. They don't have the time they probably need. They don't have the leadership they probably need, the tools, the weapons, and all that they need. And it's good to be critical of people. That's how you learn. If no one ever corrected you your whole life, do you think you would learn anything? Like if no one ever told you, or you didn't burn your hand or get your hand smacked, or if no one ever corrected you your whole life, you wouldn't fucking learn either. The Army still does this. It's called an AAR, an after action review. That's what I was doing of the ambush, an after action review. And it's good to put everybody's eyes on it and say, hey, we did this well, but we need to fix this. Hey, we did this all right, but we could do better. Hey, we did this bad, and it's got to change before we do this again. The Army still does after action reviews, whether you're in combat or whether you just had a class or whether you just had a talk or whether you just went on a run, they still do AARs. So AARs are good for everybody, not only the people that are involved in it, the people that may see it, the people that might be involved in it in the future. Hell, who knows? Fucking war might break out in the homeland and you might have to set up an ambush. And maybe you'll remember that everybody should be online and staggered when they're firing, not someone 50 feet behind you firing over your shoulder. It sounds kind of crazy. Looks like we're getting some decent first layers. I'm not super happy with this front here. It looks pretty rough, but as long as we get through the print, at least to where I can check dimensions, I can always try to do a cleaner print. By the way, I haven't put my PETG in the oven to dry it out yet. It's probably got a lot of moisture in it, which is not good for it. So most plastics that you 3D print with absorb moisture, and they're supposed to be dry. Like, I've got a dryer box project I've been working on to put it on, but I've also got an oven. So PETG takes probably 2 months to absorb enough moisture to, or maybe a month to 2 months to absorb enough moisture until it becomes an issue. So usually I'll just take the filament, throw it in the oven, leave it overnight, or all day. I don't like to do it overnight just because I'm not here and I'm afraid something might go wrong with the thermistor or something, and it fucking catches on fire. But like leave it for a full day, like 6-8 hours, and then get it out, and I could print with it for a month or whatever. This one is probably full of moisture. So what happens when it gets moisture in the line is as it's heating it up and putting it in there, you get little pockets of steam, and the steam will blow like little bubbles or like shoot shit out. It just doesn't, it causes stringing. It causes excess pressure. It causes a lot of structural issues as well as bad looking, like appearance wise, issues as well. We're going to go till 8:30. Then I'm going to shut this down, grab some more water, and then I'm going to start the Patreon stream. But I'm going to let it print till 8:30 and see how it's doing. By then, we should be able to know. Would a dehumidifier work? Yeah, so what a lot of people use instead of an oven, which is what I was originally trying to buy, I just couldn't find one locally, and I didn't want to wait to order it off Amazon, is a food dehydrator with stackable trays, like round trays, and then they cut the center out of the stackable round trays. But once you get it dehydrated or the moisture off of it, I've got a box to put it in that just lets the filament come out of like a little fitting that kind of keeps, and then you put desiccant pouchers that like absorb moisture in that box and seal it up. It's almost like Tupperware box, but it's got these little fittings that just let the filament come out, and they're supposed to be basically airtight. So once I get it dried out and get my box hung up on the wall the way it's supposed to be, I should be able to just run the filament out through that and then keep desiccant in there, and I shouldn't have to worry about it filling up with moisture anymore. But like these filaments, if I start printing nylon, it's a big deal. Nylon can absorb moisture in like less than 30 minutes. It's unusable until you dry it out again. These, like I said, they take at least 30 days to get to the point to where they're showing issues. So really, like an oven's fine. You can dry it out, use it for a month, dry it out again, use it for a month, dry it out, use it for a month. I make everything moist. I'm like a walking habitat for the wetlands. Extra moist. It's taking pictures still. Now it's doing some filament from the other side, which is cool. Let's check and see what our time-lapse pictures look like so far. Close. Octolapse. Uh-oh. Are we freezing up? No, there it is. Let's see what our filament. There it is. So it goes from like nothing to there it is. I don't know. It never wants to play in full screen, but we'll sit here for a second and see if it loads. But there's how it parks over to the side and takes a picture, which is cool. Let me close that. But it'll take one picture per. It's taken 4 pictures so far. I know it just looks like 2 because it just looks like nothing then something, but it's actually taken 4 pictures so far. Temperature looks good. This is the signal the computer's actually getting. All these signals constantly coming through. It's wild. Oh, it's doing infill now. Let's check it out. So that's the gyroid infill. Like I told you, it's just these curvy lines. And basically, the way it works is it makes let's draw it. So the way this infill works is, let's say it makes let's use yellow first, and it'll make this curvy line. Okay? And then I'm going to try to follow that curvy line. All right, so that's the first layer it puts down, okay? And then let's say the next layer is pink. So the next layer, it'll kind of shift that halfway over. So it'll put the one side of it in the middle, like that. And then the other side of it will be hanging off a little bit, right? But not much, just like half of it. And then let's say the next layer is green. And what it'll do is it'll go in half of the pink. Get in half the pink, half the stink. And it'll go right there. And this other half will be kind of hanging off. And then let's say the next layer is blue. And it'll go in this half. So see how that could shift over? And while it's doing that, because it's a spiral shape, it's also kind of turning as well, which is pretty cool. And that's how it fills it all up. But you can watch it as it does it. It's doing it right now. Took a picture. So that's what the infill looks like on the inside of it. That's what's giving it its strength, because it's technically, I'm only got 15% infill, I think, or 10 or whatever. So the other 90 or 85% is hollow. It's air. But it looks cool, don't it? It's doing the Axl Rose dance. There you go. I guess. Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle. Curvy. Watch the water has a whole new meaning. Well, Wordle Myrtle. You don't think I married her just for her brains, do ya? All right. Keep on keeping on, but it don't look warped anywhere so far, hopefully. Looks like everything's still stuck down for the most part. Not her sense of humor. It's a negative sense of humor. Damn, she's what the hell? I'm so funny. Laugh, William. I'm so funny. Everybody on the stream tells me I'm so funny. Laugh. Laugh right now. I'm so funny. You just don't get it. I'm so funny. Oh, God. Funny enough to make me start a pistol after freshly cleaning it in the shower so you can hose it all down. I'm so funny. You just don't get it. You just don't want me to be funny. I'm so funny. Laugh, William. I hate you. It's a mess, I'm telling you. You guys don't know what I have to go through every day. Tainted love. Bum, bum, bum. Now she's texting me. Stop, William. I hate you. Okay, I get it. So somebody sent me a message. I'm not going to say anybody's name, but they were talking about Zanime, and said that I got some information wrong, but I didn't. That's just not true. So, it says, I got to say you were missing a lot of info. Zanime said she was in the army, then Ukrainian army. No, she wasn't. She's in the army as a Ukrainian specialist. She's like, that's part of her getting her green card. That's how she came over here. Then she swindled her family through the Mexico border. I do think she brought her family through the Mexico border as asylum seekers, but they were from Ukraine. So, she wouldn't need to do that being in Ukraine. She also verbally said she was there the night of the girls' party that disappeared. No, she didn't. She said she knows for a fact there was at least one party because she saw some Snapchat videos of some Mexicans having some parties there, and Ryan made that out to the she was there. She just said that she knows for a fact, which I agree that's a bad choice of words. She doesn't know for a fact. But she did say, I know for a fact that there was a party there, or at least one party. It was a Mexican party. That's because she said a Snapchat video. She shares an LLC with Ictamel. No, she doesn't. She does not share an LLC with Ictamel. That's something that Ryan came up with all by himself because of a LLC that was in Florida that kind of sounded like an LLC that was in a different state, and they thought she lived in New York and had a business that was called Xana Max, not Xana May. He got all the business stuff wrong, all of it. When he looked it up, he had it all wrong. So I'll agree. So, and I know she's not Russian, she's Ukrainian, but I'm just talking about, like, that was another point. They said that she's not Russian, she's Ukrainian. I know she's not, but I'm just talking about the type of speech pattern they both have, Ukrainian and Russian. And it was easier for me to say Russian at the time. Like the way, like when you translate from, like, okay, the guy that me and Sage interviewed, that was a logistics guy from Ukraine. He kept saying the Trump. And we kept saying, oh, Trump. But he would say the Trump. It's something to do with the way you speak in Russian or Ukrainian or whatever, and translating that to English. When it's a specific thing or action, they want to put the in front of it all the time. He kept saying the Trump, the Trump, the Trump. And I thought that was fucking weird. But then I started noticing that everybody I know that's from the former USSR talks like that. I don't know why. It's something to do in the translation. I don't like her. Like, I don't want to take up for her. I don't like her. Like, I don't like her as a person. I think she's not a very good person. I think she's on borderline grifting. I don't like her. I just don't want, we don't need to, just because I don't like her, you don't like her, Ryan don't like her, or someone down the road doesn't like her, we don't need to make up like fake businesses. Like the business they looked up had nothing to do with her. And they were laughing at her in her, Ryan in the Discord. Her name is X Anime X. So you could call her Xaname X. The business they found was called Xana Max. It had no Y on the end of it. And there was no tie to her, except it was one letter off from her username. That was the only tie from her to the business. My username is Cold Beer Confessional. If you found a company called Cold Beer Incorporated, would you instantly say it was my company? I wouldn't. I mean, I would want to see like who the agent was, who the filing agent was, who the representative was. Like that was weird. That they just instantly attached it to her. So the leaps that he makes when he asserts something are not crazy leaps. The problem is it's very small leaps that you can't prove a little bit at a time. So if I ask you to jump the Grand Canyon, you're gonna be like, I can't jump the fucking Grand Canyon. Nobody can jump the Grand Canyon. But if I say, okay, well, look, we can jump 1 inch and then we can jump 2 inches. And if you can jump 2 inches, you can jump 4 inches, right? And if you can jump 4 inches, if we train a little bit, you can jump 6 inches. And before you know it, I've got you jumping halfway across the Grand Canyon and falling to your death. That's the leaps that he takes, or at least an analogy to it. He takes very small leaps that he can't prove. And then by the time you get to the end result, you're like, wait, you can't prove any of this. I wasn't trying to call you out, Bugsy. I wasn't even going to, I didn't even say your name. I was just responding to the message. I did look up that business. Let's see. It was called Corporation Finder. And then it was Xanax. Oh, it's just going to give me all Xanax. Awesome. Jesus. Lots of Xanax. That's all it was Xanax. I have to go back to his, I probably have to go back to his thing. If I just do Xana May with an X, does that bring up anything? I probably don't need to be searching this publicly before some porn or something pops up. I also didn't like how he went to like the porn bots in her comments and was like, oh, look. It says, first of all, it said 18 and up. And then he's like, look, it's tied to something that says 18 and under. Well, that's not true. And I think he knew that was true. If he would have just read, it said 18 and up. But like, I have the exact same porn bots. Like, I have the exact same porn bots in my comments. Or like the guy he yelled at for the purple light. I have a purple light, or I have purple accents. So basically the stuff he's saying, he could say about me. And obviously I have nothing to do with the fucking case. But he could say, like, I use purple colors on my stream. And I have an LLC in my name. And that's like everything he relates to her, he can relate to me. And if it relates to me, I know it relates to more people, which just seems kind of unhinged. I forget. We'll have to go back and look. But we looked up the business and talked about it and how it had no tie to her. But we'd have to go back and look and find it. I can't remember what I searched to get to it. I think I looked at the website that he showed the screenshot from and went there and searched it. That might have been it. I'm glad the thing's printing all right. It does look like there's some kind of... Hold on, I'll be right back. It does look like there's some kind of fucked up spot right in the front of it. Let me go over there and look at it. It looks like there's a space where it didn't print something. I might have to fill it in with some putty or something. I do think Tony looks shady as hell, and he needs to do a response video and just tell us, was that a guy you blocked? Was that a bot? Was that somebody trolling you? What was that? But to have that in your DMs and then not address it at all, you're either one, some type of bad person doing some bad shit and you don't want to talk about it, or two, you're milking it for views because you know that the followers will keep coming over there and harassing you with hate views. It's just some kind of weird reflection. There's nothing there. It looks like right in this area, see that line? It looks like there's like the wall's missing and I can see some support material behind it or something, but it's not. It's just the way the light's hitting it, I guess. Oh, it's well, you might not have seen it. So the first time I covered the Upchurch stuff, I did it behind Patreon because I was afraid that, like, I know that some people that watch him watch me, and I tried to be respectful and say, look, I like Ryan, blah blah blah, but I can't ignore it, right? If I just ignore it and I disagree with it, then the next time I claim that I disagree with something, and the only reason I'm saying something is because of like my morals and my standing and the fact that I can't go along with it, well, then people are just not going to believe me, right? They're just going to be like, oh, yeah, sure. Sure, it's because your morals. Sure, it's because you feel this way, blah, blah, blah. Like, so I had to say something. But the first time I did it on Patreon, so you might not have even been able to see it. And then last night I started talking about it again, which I probably didn't cover it very well because I'd already talked about it once. And even though as much as you hear me repeat myself, I try not to do that. I'm just really bad at it. So you might not even have the ability to see it, to be honest with you. Is it printing a solid top layer already? So the couple things where I think he probably stepped over bounds was It's one thing to ask, why do you have that purple light? Why does this other guy have that purple light? Why that multiple people have the purple light? Why are they all your friends? It's another thing to say, bro, pedo guys use secret signals. He has a purple light. He's part of a pedo ring. Like, that's a full-on accusation. You could even say, hey, I've heard places that PGophiles use certain symbols and blah, 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 and some of them are purple backlights. Look, this guy has a purple backlight. I'm not saying he is, but I am saying that this is a sign, and then this is his background. But to just say this is a sign and that means he is, that's a little bit overkill without any real evidence. Or like the whole Kylie isn't real. That kind of bothers me, just because I think about what I would do if I lost my child and then someone come out and said, hey, this person isn't real. Your kid isn't real. Like, even if like the Alex Jones stuff, man, could you imagine losing your kid in one of the most fucked up mass events where a kid comes in and literally just fires rounds into tiny children to the point to where he's literally blowing bodies apart over and over again in piles, and then some son of a bitch fires up his fans that you're a fucking actor, and then you get harassed for the next 3 years over it. I don't know. I've got nothing to lose at that point. I would probably end up in a pretty bad spot eventually. Like, I don't know. I'd definitely be showing up at places. That much I know is for sure. All right, so it looks like we might be getting our 5mm at the bottom. Hopefully it starts to cap that off. That does not look like a good cap layer. We got 5 minutes left in the stream. We'll see what it looks like. Yeah, that does not look like a good cap layer. But again, it'll have multiple cap layers. So hopefully the next one looks better. Because if it's capping it right now, a lot of it's falling down in or something. Actually, we can look. What was it doing just now? G-code viewer. Oh, hell, it's still downloading the stupid thing. All right, let's see. Previously, yeah, it went all the way across on that one. But it didn't look great. That's the last of the gyroid. Was just to kind of split the gaps. Then it went all the way across. Now this one is going to go all the way across the opposite direction. So this one ought to make it look a little bit better. And it's going to do 3 of those total. So we're on number 2 right now. Then 3 should be solid. And then we'll go into the walls. So let's see what happens. Hopefully this one makes it look a little bit cleaner. Because I did turn down. I usually had 5 or 7 layers on, but I only got 3 on right now. So hopefully it still looks good. It doesn't just like, because the problem is like you've got obviously that gyroid doesn't cover 100% of the hole. So you got a hole that the filament can fall in. If you're not doing really well with your cap, you're just going to put filament into the hole and you're never going to cover it. But it looks like it's covering a lot better now. That actually looks really good. And then we still got 1 more on top of that to make it basically look perfect. I think that would be good. Mine was broke down both of mine were broke for a long time, Bugsy. Like, both of them were broke for a while. I'm just glad that they're better now. There's what it's doing. Call to this, from this point to that point, this point to that point, this point to that point, over and over. That full control XYZ is wild. Like, I got to try that. Look at that. You're not supposed to be able to print those overhangs like that. That's wild, dude. With no support at all. That looks so cool. It's just printing out in the air. There's one. I want to see the 90-degree overhangs again. 75-degree overhang, I think that's what he just said.
.xyz. Some of this stuff is, I said in another video, absolute wizardry. Overhang challenge, right? Imagine printing 90-degree overhangs. Imagine a surface that actually worked.
I hear you, Bugsy. Maybe I hope he doesn't get it fixed then.
Right here. No support.
Look at that.
This is how it came off the bed.
So the only thing I can figure is they have to be printing extremely slow with a lot of overlap. So overlap, if I have 2 rows printing and 0 overlap, then they're touching, but they're not on top of each other. If I have negative overlap, then there'll be a little gap in between them, okay? And they might spread out as they heat up and kind of mush together, but there'll be a little bit of a gap when I put it down. If you put a little bit of overlap on it, like say I overlap my first 2 fingers, this layer that's already there kind of holds up this layer. And if you print slow enough, there's a fan on there. If you print slow enough, there's a fan blowing directly on the hot filament that's supposed to cool it in place. So if it's running slow enough and you're hitting it with enough fan, you could literally put it in the right spot in the air and cool it quick enough to where it can't droop or fall, which has got to be what they're doing. Some version of that.
I don't get it. But then, of course, when I'm printing, wow, that looks great. My overhangs look like absolute garbage.
There's people that buy me filament all the time from Hell fucking Steel bought me a shit ton of filament from my Amazon wish list. I always have filament on there because I can always use it or store it for the next thing. But $20 a roll it isn't too bad. That's a kilogram, and a kilogram makes a lot of shit, man.
I need to learn this wizardry. How can this?
You're a witch.
There you go. So look at that.
They were right.
90-degree overhangs. See how slow it's running? These things right here, this pink thing right here and this pink thing right here are hooked to this fan. And they're or maybe a fan on the back. It depends on which fan he's using. But they're blowing straight out on the plastic. So if you're going slow enough and cooling it quick enough, you can actually print in midair. That's got to be what they're doing.
They were right.
They usually are.
You're a witch.
So I wanted to try something different.
That's the same thing with his. He's 3D printed. I need to 3D print probably some better fan shrouds that direct the cooling fans better. And there's people that's already probably figured out the best thing to do for the Sprite extruder. But see how this is on both sides? I know a lot of people have one that basically looks like, it'll look like this shape. Like this is what I'm talking about. The fan's blowing into this and this. And it's hitting that hot filament right there and blowing on it and cooling it. A lot of people will have like a shape like this to where it comes down like that one. And same thing on this side. And then you got your nozzle right here, of course, with the filament coming out. But they'll make it go all the way around the back of it so they can get basically air on the whole on all sides. And that'll be where the air comes from, all directions. And then this will go, of course, over here behind it, and it'll all be connected to the it'll all be connected to like some little thing that goes up, and that's where the fan will be with like some twisted blades. I guess I have to draw the fan, but and the fan will blow air. It'll come down through some type of chamber and be pushed in here, and then that pushes out on the print in all directions. Basically, mine right now, all it looks like is there's a fan on the back, and it basically just comes out to the side, and it's just one little nozzle, but it's probably only about that wide. You know what I'm saying? So I get high velocity, just not a lot of volume because I got such a small like opening for the air to come out. But if I spread this all the way out and even upgraded the fan, I would get medium velocity, but a lot of volume to cool stuff down. That might be my next upgrade. It's just a part that I could print, I'm sure, and make it work. Look at that. That does look cool.
So I want.
They make some filament now that's like heat sensitive. Like you print something out of it and it looks like it's black. But if you get it like if you get it hot or it gets hot in the sun or you touch it with your hands, it'll turn to like a goldish color. Or they print some cool stuff. Oh, this is their, hold on, this is their actual page. I didn't even know they had well, it's only got one video on it, but overhang challenge, 90-degree overhangs. Look at that. Dude, that is crazy. That's a spool for thread. 90-degree overhang, easy. So 8% overlap, 12% overlap, 10% overlap, no fan, 10% overlap. So it seems like with a 10% overlap fan, I wonder what their speed they're printing is. 11% overlap, even a little bit better. It looks like they were going through the test for sure. That's crazy, dude. I don't know. Try printing a 90-degree overhang. Yeah, that's what they're doing for sure. They're definitely good at what they do. People responding to the first video. This is a cool, that's a cool little design.
Je prends mon filament bicolore et je lance l'impression. Le but ici, c'est que pendant l'impression, ça monte sur l'axe Z. On voit la buse monter en Z et travailler sur tous les axes. Un paramètre.
Are you ready to see what the bottom of the battery holder looks like? Oh, that's not bad. I can still see it some, but I don't know it is. I don't think it's going over it anymore. That's it. So I probably should have put one more cap layer on that, but that's not bad. And you'll probably never see that. The battery holder will be sitting on it. But yeah, that's not bad. Anytime you got a wide, flat area that's like a top you need to cap, it's better to have more top layers if you want something super smooth. Because you can still see how it kind of sunk on top of my support layer. So it's got that ripple pattern in it. If I'd have put one or two more layers on it, like if I'd had 5 instead of 3, it would have been flat as you could tell, you know. You wouldn't have been able to see the support stuff. Yeah, it's not bad. Could have been better. By the way, this brown bottle back here, somebody asked me about it the other day when I showed the printer. That's resin for the resin printer. I've got a resin printer that's really like hot. I use it when I have to do like high details or whatever. Actually, I made Ollie's Godzilla on it. So if I go over to Telegram and pull up, surely Godzilla will pull it up, right? Why? Of course not. This is the type of stuff that the resin printer will do. So that's it with all its supports there. But then I broke all the supports off. That's a Shin Godzilla model about this tall, like a 3-inch model. Like it does some crazy fucking details. Arms, the spikes, this big ass tail on the back of it. Like the resin printer uses lasers to hit resin through like this screen that basically makes a mask all the time, an LCD screen, and it does crazy detail. Even like you can see the detail on like his skin and stuff and on his toes. This is just wild. Or some of the D&D characters that I made when we were playing D&D on this channel, the Cold Beer Creations channel. When we were playing D&D, I made them with the resin printer. The detail was just wild. All right, guys, I guess that's it. We got a successful print down. It's going to be printing for the next couple hours. I'm going to end this stream here. I'll play some outro music. I'll be back for Twitch subscribers and patrons only, all levels. Twitch subscribers and patrons. We're going to talk about the fundraiser. We're going to talk about the Ethan Ralph interview. That is tomorrow, 8:30, cozy.tv/Ethan Ralph. Tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. cozy.tv/Ethan Ralph. One word. You can check that out. I'll be on there tomorrow talking grifters and my channel and, you know, trying to hang out and have a good time and maybe get some followers out of it. So check that out. If you're a patron or a Twitch subscriber, you'll either see a show here or you'll get a patron link in your email, and we'll all hang out for a show here in a little bit. Thank you for joining me tonight while we made this part. Hopefully it prints out. I'll keep you updated with how it works. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Have a good night, guys. Tomorrow I'll be live pre-Ralph and post-Ralph. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good one. See you on the next one. I'll let you know how the print turns out, by the way.
You might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. You can meet me outside, but you better buckle up. It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Yeah. Party till 5 in the morning. Do it again in the morning. Do it like we did this rhyming. I think the government watching. Minister perfect society. Struggling with my sobriety. Struggling with my anxiety. Are you feeling the insanity? Anger inside of me. There is a war in me. And it keep trying to me. Blinded by all of the vanity. Snakes all around and they rattling. Tell them to shut up the chattering. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy.
Yeah, I saw there were new documents, but they won't come out till after midnight.
It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild.
Or you won't be able to pull them up till after midnight. They're just now listed in the system.
Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Hope you ready for it now. We gon' be running your town. Oh, we ain't playing around. We gon' be shutting it down. Hope you ready for it now. We gon' be running your town. Oh, we ain't playing around. We gon' be shutting it down. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side.
All right, guys, we'll see the patrons and subscribers.